Welcome to the first ever live streamed Suburban Varsity Girls Alumni Volleyball game. My name is Matthew Fox, or you also can remember me as the SAS announcer. Again, for my second for volleyball and for basketball later on this school year. So I want to welcome you, and let's get going right now. And now Mrs. Ellis is going to walk all the way back as they're still having a conversation. As Mrs. Ellis is ready to get. And we're so glad to have you with us. As and let's play some volleyball tonight. As that one goes out of bounds, and first a point for Suburban. And it's away. Peyton, Madison, Kelsey over. Reagan there. Mrs. Ellis cannot get to it, as that is a point for Suburban. 1-1 is your score. As Abby Connor is away with it. And bound. You have Shelby Staper on the left side, and that was Jocelyn Carpenter who graduated this past year. As Suburban is up 2-1, that's away. And people get there. And Misty, Madison. Good job, Chelsea. As that goes out of bounds off of Reagan, and that ties the game. It makes it 3-1 in favor of Suburban. I know I have Suburban and Suburban. That was as Suburban goes up 4-1. Abby away with it, and there's Shelby Stapert, Madison Stapert, and Misty over, Claire, and Mrs. Ellis, and Claire right to Abby. Mrs. Ellis, John, Kelsey, Misty over Reagan there. Claire. Good Hollis, Misty over. And hell, 5-1. Make that 4-2. I know it's not going to be very much distinctive, but I mean these are all Suburban folks here, so what can I say? I want to welcome you in here. Claire Wilhelm over. Good. Lillian Hollis. Madison. Kelsey over. Claire. Good. Kelsey to Madison to Misty, and Mrs. Ellis is there. Jocelyn over. Peyton Glover. Madison. Misty. Just got it over. Jocelyn there. Can they save it? Mrs. Ellis, yes. And right to Abby. To Madison. To Kelsey. Good. Mrs. Ellis. Shelby, Jocelyn, good, Misty, Shelby, Jocelyn, Lillian Hollis, Madison over, Madison, Jocelyn, good back and forth battle here as Madison is over. Right there is Reagan, and Chelsea can save it, yes, Madison does, and Mrs. Ellis, and now Shelby over, good, right to Madison, and to Kelsey, and Saved by Kelsey. And that's going to girls. Okay, so on the right side, I'm going to be calling these the varsity girls. The varsity girls on the left side, I'll be calling them, I'll think of it. Anyway, 5-2 in favor of the varsity girls, because these are going to be the varsity girls for this upcoming volleyball season. Out of bounds, and that will be a point for 3. Serve is over. Peyton. Madison goes and gets it. Lillian Hollis is good, and that one will be out. In favor to the left side. Jocelyn over. Peyton. Madison. Peyton, and that one's out of bounds in 3 consecutive points, and that ties the game at 5. This is a let me say this is a best of 3. That's what I'm trying to say. It's Jocelyn now is over. Peyton over. Reagan, and that one's not, she is not able to get that over as the varsity girls go up 6-5. That's Kelsey over with it, and I'm so sorry. Make that, she was short with it. We're tied at 6. And now substitution. Madison goes out, and the girl in the purple shirt. Six your score in this first set, and over, and here is Kirsten, and that one will be out of bounds. 7-6. I'm gonna on the left side. I'm gonna call them the older varsity girls. Kirsten over. Mrs. Ellis over at Lillian. Madison setting up for Peyton, who gets it over and sends it out of bounds. 8-6 in favor of the older varsity girls. As that one's over, and it's over and good, and that will be point varsity. The former varsity girls. That sounds better. We have the varsity girls and the former varsity girls. As that one is over, Mrs. Ellis, Reagan, Mrs. Ellis again. Oh, she's just short with it. And that will tie the game at 8. Period ends with on the scoreboard. As once again, I want to welcome you to this alumni. First week. She is over with it. Claire. And Madison. Kirsten is not over. 9-8 in favor of former varsity. Of course, this is the first girls volleyball game I've ever announced in my entire life here at Suburban. So this is a prep for the start of the season next week. Well, technically tomorrow. As the 9 former varsity girls. Shelby Stapert is over. Kirsten there, and Madison goes over. Madison. Kirsten. There by Kirsten. Madison. Kirsten over, but out of bounds. 11-8 former in favor of the former varsity girls. As Shelby is short, 11-9. As Peyton Glover is looking to serve it up. And she will, as that one is. And Mrs. Ellis, good. Right to. You did a very good job. A point. All right, Peyton Glover to get a. Shale purple and Reagan over. Over. Mrs. Ellis. Purple. Setting up for Mrs. Ellis. Good there. Very nice. Very nicely put. 12-10 in favor of former varsity girls. Reagan Ryan will look to get it over. As she is able to, and Sophia Miller there. Good. Setting up for purple. Mrs. Ellis is going to get there. Claire, she sends that way out of bounds. Into the 12-11 in favor of the former varsity girls. Miss Lillian Hollis looks to serve. She is over. As Shelby can get to it. Purple there, good placed. Abby, Madison, Kelsey cannot succeed in getting it over. 13-11 in favor of the former varsity girls. All right, Mrs. Ellis is going to serve. Mrs. Ellis. Out of bounds. Could have gone either way. 13-12. Looks like nobody was wanting to decide there. All right, Miss Abby Connor, what can you do? Over. That will be inbound. Yes, it is. 14-12 varsity. Excuse me. We're tied at 13, and we're tied. Okay, get the point. All right, Abby Connor, we're 13 in favor of former varsity girls, and here at the Suburban Alumni Game 2022. All right, Miss Claire Wilhelm. She is abroad. Pate. Good. Ellis touches it. Shelby. Jocelyn. Here, Sophia, right? Sophia. And she was just short. 15-13 in favor. Varsity. All right, Claire Wilhelm just off the front of the net. 15-14. As our varsity girls will get the serve. Is up and away. Over. The girls. All right, Miss Jocelyn Carpenter, former graduate, is over. Peyton, Madison, good. Mrs. Ellis, good. Peyton, setting up for Madison. Kelsey, good. Anyway, good block there. Good to save it. Man. Back. All right, Miss Kelsey. Mrs. Ellis is there. Madison. Team. So I want to welcome those of you who may be watching at this time or will watch us at a later time. This is your guy, Matthew Fox, coming to you live inside the Crusader boxes. Kelsey does get it over. It's Reagan now. Does get it over. Madison. There. Mrs. Ella. Good. And Madison. Kelsey there. Yes. Mrs. Ellis, yes. Kirsten, good. On the side of the former varsity team. 16 year score. As Kelsey Baird will serve it up once again. As she tied at 6. Pleasure to be back here as that one will be out of bounds. He's the only don't know on this who's playing, but that's okay. Good that she can come out and help out the team tonight. Good deal. 18-17 favor of our varsity girls. As Sophia is good. Mrs. Ellis. As Mrs. Ellis. Back to Peyton. Good. Mrs. Ellis. Purple. Kirsten. Lillian. A great job by Miss Abby. (19-17) in favor of our varsity girls. Here is Misty Elliott. And she is off with it. So 19-18 now in favor of our varsity girls. Kelsey, I'm sorry, that was Madison. Man, I'm going to get all these. As that one falls in there for a point for the former varsity team. We're tied at 19. You know, this is not a good start. I'm getting all these girls mixed up, and I know the names of each one of them, you know. But it's not. But this is the first time I ever announced a girls' volleyball game, so. Abby Connor, Shelby Stapert, purple. And Ellis is good. Lillian there. Madison. Enough. Mrs. Ellis was the power, but this time out of bounds. And that will give the varsity girls a point. 20-19 is your score. As one of these teams is looking to take the first. Mister, he can't do that. He can't do. But it was going out of bounds anyway. But. Oh boy. All right, 21-19. Lover. Yes. Job. Got it over. Kirsten saves it. Abby there.
Will be a point
For former Varsity girls, 21-20. All right, Miss Reagan Ryan will serve it away. Folks having a good time here tonight as that one's up. Lillian, good. Up for very good. Purple there. Oh, good save. Purple. Ellis. Hollis. And that one is up. Madison. Abby, good. Shelby. Good. As that one's up for Madison. Claire. Mrs. Ellis. Purple. She came and got as purple. Jocelyn. Who's going to... And yeah, who's going to get it? Oh, I'm just short off the hands of... In this first... This is the best of three. To win two. This one been a good one so far. Reagan over. Abby, good, purple, and Reagan. Jocelyn, over. Peyton, Madison.
Pierce, Reagan.
Oh, Claire, Lillian there. Madison, Lily goes and gets it. Purple. Jocelyn setting up for Claire, and she does get it over. Peyton, Madison setting up for Abby. Good. And that was Shelby. And they're going to save it. Are they going to save it? No, they're not. 3 tries it is. Unsuccessful. 22-21 in favor of your former Varsity girls here at Suburban in this alumni game.
All right,
this set. Over. Misty there. Madison. Lillian. That hit the ceiling, but it's going to be a point for the former Varsity team. 23-21. Good. Kirsten. Lillian. Who's going to get it? Peyton, and that's going to not go their way. 24-21 in favor of your former Varsity team. One more point, and they are winners of this one. All right, Miss Reagan Ryan is up and away and over. Lillian, Madison, and Abby over. Shelby. And who's the point? 24-22. They're still alive, just down by 3. Lillian Hollis, who wears and she is up and away, and then must have stepped on the line, and that will end it. 25-22. As the former Varsity team gets the first period, we now back with you. Coverage 1-0 series lead by former. In just a little bit, or shortly. Thank you. Shortly. Welcome to the start of the second period here in this alumni game. Also, before this live stream even got going, I knew there and over it. So just thank the internet. Blame that. I apologize nonetheless. In favor of the former. Whether they want to be called that, I'm just going to be calling that because I think it's better than the first one I had. Madison, just off the net, 1-0 former Varsity girls. All right, Miss Abby Connor again. Good. Shelby, Mrs. Ellis, Madison over, right to Abby, to Madison, and Misty, good, over. Shelby, Mrs. Ellis, Misty, Madison, Kelsey. 1-1, we're tied. All right, Madison. Get that? Former leads 2-1. All right, Madison out of bounds. 2-2. Of course, we want to thank this nice little crowd here who may have came out. Nobody over there, but the majority is over here. So take a look at them. There you go. All right, 2-2 is your score in this second period of the alumni game as Madison is over. And Madison to Madison, okay. Madison. Kelsey, no. 3-2, former Varsity. So I want to say, all right, Jocelyn. She is short. I don't think she was ready for that one. 3-3 your score. All right, Kelsey. Over. Out of bounds. 4-3 former. As I want to say thank you to those who might be watching or watch us at a later time. This is your guy Matthew Fox coming to you live inside the Crusader box. As that one is over, right to Misty, and she does get it over. Right there is Reagan, and Mrs. Ellis just save it. Nicely done, as that one is a great point for former Varsity. 5-3 in favor of them. All right, over. Katie Krynock. Out of bounds. Reformer. Caitlin Krynock. That's what I was getting ready to say. Again, very nicely done. 7-3. And over. 2 of them there. Mrs. Ellis goes backwards, Madison, and back to Madison as Madison.
Reagan.
Mrs. Ellis, Claire over, right to Lillian. Madison for Miss Elm, put it in there. No. Yes, she did. 8-3 in favor of the former varsity girls. They lead 1-0. In the set series. I'll learn eventually. It's just and all of that. But this is great practice, and I love doing my job, as I am glad to have it back now. Miss over Reagan. Oh, varsity girls get a point. They weren't 4. Come on now. All right, Miss D over Madison. Good save, Madison. Now Lillian Hall is good. Light purple. Mrs. Ellis setting up for light purple is over. Now back. Good power and out of bounds. What is it, 8-5? 8-5 former varsity. All right, Claire Wilhelm is good. Peyton Glover, Madison Stevens, Peyton Glover, good. That was touched by Madison Stapert as there's Reagan. Claire short. 8-6 now as here comes. All right, Peyton Glover. Over. Reagan, good job there. On the varsity girl. Right there is Kelsey. Even as that serve hits. Mistakes, as this is the very first. As Ryan is over. Out. Lillian up. And now Madison. And now Abby. Good. And one. All right, Miss Lillian Hollis. Purple. Mrs. Ellis. Claire Wilhelm. Good. Light purple. Carpenter. And Madison Stevens. Abby. They cannot. That is a point for our former varsity team, 10-9, their favor. Mrs. Ellis' serve is over. Kelsey, who's going to get their call at Madison, and Kelsey is short. See, that was not very good communication, as you didn't want a collision. right, 11-9, former varsity. Mrs. Ellis, perfect. Peyton, oh, Madison, Genji, no. Oh, man, I thought she had a chance, but that went out of bounds. 12-9. 12-9. Your score in favor of the former varsity girls. As Mrs. Ellis, perfect again. Lillian Hollis up. Kelsey. Jocelyn, Lily, Madison. Mrs. Ellis was there. Jocelyn got it over. At Madison. Abby, good. Claire.
Purple.
Front of the net, 12-10. All right, Miss Abby Connor is up and
No.
Madison Staper, good. Right there, good save. Yeah, Madison, but nobody's going to get there. Hey, Lillian Hollis got it over. That should count. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. 10.
Madison Stapert to serve. Yes. That will be, good form to hit it back. 14-10. Madison Stapert. Don't get low. Don't let this lead. Gonna get it. And Kirsten.
Purple.
Good job, Claire, but way far out of bounds. It hits Jocelyn's sister, I believe. 14-11. 14-11, favor former varsity. So you have Aubrey Graham. Matt over.
Nobody.
Hurt anybody now. We don't want anybody hurt in this game.
14.
Of the former girls team in this game. Forgive me for all my mistakes.
Madison.
Good. This is Ellis. Light purple over right there. Kelsey. Madison. Good. Light purple is short, and that's going to be a point for varsity girls. 14-13 as they cut it within one. All right, Miss Madison Stevens. Good job. Claire Wilhelm, light purple, Peyton there. Madison, Kelsey, Shelby, light purple over. Abby, Madison, Kelsey off the front of the net, middle of the net, should I say. 15-13, former varsity. Over. But out of bounds, 15-14 as varsity girls within 1 point now. All right, Miss Kelsey Baird. Mrs. Ellis, Reagan, good, and off of Abby. Point for former varsity, good job there. All right, 16-14. Light purple over. Peyton. 17-14, former varsity. The girls means we're done here. Just to tell it to you straight. Light purple over. Peyton. Madison goes and gets it. Who's going to get it now? Kirsten over. And Aubrey. Mrs. Ellis. Claire. Abby. Madison. Ellis. Light purple over. Kirsten. And nicely placed off the hands of Kirsten. Did I say Kirsten Hilton? I don't think she's even out there, for crying out loud. Oh my goodness. She's not even out there. It must have been Abby Connor. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Man, scratch that off the tape. Point for Varsity. See, some of these girls have the same, kind of hit. Glover, very good. I got that one right. We're tied at 17. Once again, forgive me for all my errors and forgive me for this choppy internet, I'm assume. I apologize for it all. Peyton Glover over. Claire, Mrs. Ellis, and Reagan short, and there you go, a 1 point lead for our varsity girls, 18-17. Peyton. Katie Krynock over. Varsity 19-17, 2 points. Peyton. Good. Light purple, Mrs. Ellis, Madison Stapert, and that one's just off the front of the net. 20-17 varsity. Hey, I'm sorry, I have to get competitive. These are my varsity girls, of which I got to learn their name. Well, I know their names. I got to learn their jerseys and all that stuff. So, these are going to be my varsity girls for this upcoming volleyball season. This is only the alumni game. Madison over. Lillian Hollis, Peyton there. Madison over. Light purple, Mrs. Ellis, Reagan, and that will be out of bounds. Point for Varsity, 21-17. Peyton Glover. Gus got it over. They didn't think it was going to get over, but it did. 22-17 Varsity. Very. All right. Peyton over. Claire, Reagan, Ellis over. Lillian, Madison, Katie, just short off the front. Varsity down by 4. Abby over. Reagan, light purple. Who's going to get there? Mrs. Ellis over. Lillian, Madison, Abby out of bounds. What's the power? 19. All right, Miss Reagan. For Abby, she got it over. Right to Claire. Mrs. Ellis. Jocelyn over. Lillian does touch it. And Misty, good job. Abby does get it over. Very good. Jocelyn. And now Mrs. Ellis sends it to Peyton. And now Madison. Lillian, good. That will be inbounds. Yes, it is. Miss Lillian Hollis. Beautiful play. 23-19. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Way to go, Miss Hollis. Do it for your... Do it for her. All right, Miss Hollis. Just short. I didn't mean hit at the front of the at the front of the net now. I didn't tell you to do it. She didn't want to see that. Mrs. Ellis is over. Right there. Just barely. 23-21.
2 more points.
Series. All right, Mrs. Ellis is over. Right there, Peyton. Madison. Kelsey over. Shelby. Mrs. Ellis. Madison could not send it. 24-21 favor Varsity. They need 1 more point. And we got a tie alumni game. Oh, Mrs. Ellis, good save. Jocelyn there, over, and right there is Madison. Kelsey, Madison, good. Mrs. Ellis, light purple, and Stapert. Hollis, Madison, Baird, out of bounds. Game.
More point if they're going to get
Madison Stapert. She goes to my church, by the way. So does Shelby Stapert. As she gets it over, Lillian, Misty, Kelsey, over, hit the ceiling. And that will be a point for former Varsity. Hit the ceiling, 24-23 now. Varsity needs one more point if they want to tie this. Whatever you want to. Madison, over. And that we will play a third game. And that's exactly what you wanted in here, an alumni game. At least what I wanted anyway. All right, we're going to period. You're watching the first ever live stream. Third period coming up next. All right, welcome back to start this third period. We got a tie at 1. I think they played a 15 in this kind of game here, because the last time I did this, they went to 15. I thought it was 25, so I messed it up. But anyway, this is the alumni game, and I think it's the first one to 15. Okay, if I remember right, and I think that's how it should go. But still learning as we go. Let's start this third period. Varsity girls and the former varsity girls. Abby Connor, here we go. Over. Grayson Graham. Favor of Varsity. All right, and Miss Abby Connor. And that one is over. Graceland. Mrs. Ellis, light purple early. All right, Miss Abby Connor. Madison, Kelsey, setting it for Madison over and right there perfectly. Claire kicked it, but it's not called volleyball for a reason, not kickball. 3-0 Varsity. They know that. It's fun. Abby Connor, good. Claire there. Mrs. Ellis, light purple over. Peyton, Madison, Kelsey, good. Claire. Madison,
Lillian.
Varsity. To serve. She is ready and over. Peyton Glover, Madison, Sophia Miller, good. Claire, Mrs. L. He got it. Kelsey, Madison, backwards, good. Graceland, Mrs. Ellis, Claire, right to Lillian. Madison, Abby, I'm not Abby, Sophia Miller. Mrs. Ellis, light purple. And nicely placed. Lillian Hollis could not get to it. 3-2. Former Varsity started off slow, but now they've picked it up here. Down by 1 now. And Madison was not ready. But this time, Madison, Kelsey, good. Mrs. Like to Lillian, Madison. Lillian, good. Stapert, Ellis. Varsity girl 2. All right, Madison over. Madison Stapert. Mrs. Ellis. Light purple over. Abby Connor. Madison Stevens. Kelsey Baird. Short. 4-3. All right, Miss Jocelyn Carpenter is now going to serve as Reagan Ryan comes in for a few years ago. It's Jocelyn Carpenter. Sophia. Good. Madison. What? Mrs. Ellis up in there. Reagan Ryan. Sophia Madison. Mrs. Claire, good. She. Oh! Was that? Oh, and all at the end, a good point goes to the Varsity girls. I mean, you had that spin just coming off the net, but right there. Oh boy, that was something, wasn't it? 5-3. In favor of Varsity. Here's
Shelby.
Mrs. Ellis. Claire short.
63.
Kelsey over. Shelby. Mrs. Ellis. And Reagan. And light purple is good. Madison up. Sophia. Peyton over. And Stapert could not get to it. 7-4 in favor of the Varsity girls. Here's Sophia Miller, who is over. Light purple, Lillian Hollis. Madison.
Honor.
Touched by Ray. Sophia Miller over. Madison. Claire. Lil.
Madison.
Reagan, perfect. And she did put it perfect. Sophie Miller could not get to it, 8-5 now. All right. But what a great alumni game this has been. Cry knock. Oh, man. That's okay. 8-6 now. 2 down our former varsity. And now Claire Wilhelm to serve, this time just off to the side, out of bounds. 9-6. Peyton Glover now. All right. Peyton whatever you want to call it. 10-6 varsity. Good deal there. But hey,
Game doesn't.
just for fun and
Reagan.
Madison. Abby. Varsity. Shelby. Mrs. Ellis. Nice. Sophia Miller. Or she's not even playing. And I'm still making the mistakes. Oh my goodness. Whoever that was. Peyton off the front of the net. 12-7. Looks like I gotta study some things before I start. Or boy. Glad you're here anyway. Reagan Ryan over. Lillian. Madison. Abby good. Light purple over. Kirsten. Reagan. Madison. 13-7 varsity now. As they have ran away with this from the start. And she does. And she must have stepped on the line. Giving a point. Mrs. Ellis. And Kelsey, good. Mrs. Lillian. Madison. Kelsey, I'm not Kelsey. Abby. Abby off the front of the net, 13-9. All right, Mrs. Ellis is a board. Over, whatever you want to call it. Kelsey, I'm not Kelsey. Yeah, that's right. Point for the varsity girls, 14-9, and as far as I know, I believe they're a point away from winning this alumni varsity girls game. All right, Abby, Connor, Claire, light purple over. Abby, Madison, Kelsey, good. Mrs. Ellis, Stapert, Madison, Connor, light purple, Jocelyn over. Lillian, Madison, Krynock over. Graceland, Ellis, Madison over. Lillian, Madison, Kelsey, light purple, and that's going to be the game as the varsity girls take it 15-9 to start off this volleyball season. This game does not count. Does count in the records or any of that for this coming season. It's just a fun game. Alumni. Appreciate all the former varsity girls, or whatever you want to call them, to be playing on the left side. You had the varsity girls up Suburban on the right side. Final score, and they win the series 2-1. Congratulations to our varsity girls. But I want to say kudos to our former varsity team. They won the first game, they won the first one, then obviously lost the last two. But congratulations to both for showing up and having a great time. I appreciate a little bit of the crowd coming out, but majority on this side is. But what a great time. It's a good way to end off the first week of school. You know that? A great way to end off the first week of school. But congratulations to all of them. Congratulations to our past graduates. And congratulations to the ones who are on their way for and all of it. But yes, what a fantastic job. Thank you for Matthew Fox coming to you live. Box. And it is such a privilege to be back here. Once again, my name is Matthew Fox. Thank you once again for joining us, and I hope you have a great rest of this evening. You have a great weekend coming. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. Tomorrow, this at Christian School. So that is tomorrow. And the opening you will learn as we go, and I just didn't want to tell you wrong. Make sure I understand and get everything together and all of it. So I just want to say thank you, and for listening if you did, and for those who will watch it later. All right. Varsity girls win this alumni game over the former varsity. Good show nonetheless, and thank you for all the participation and for the fans who are to come out here and enjoy this one. Remember, none of this counts for the standings and all of that. But like I said, a wonderful way to end this first week of school. All right, this is Matthew Fox signing out, saying goodbye. And opening start. Well, the opening. Let's try that again. Never mind. We won't try it again. Had to give my friend William Wiley. All right, well, once again, this is Matthew Fox signing off, saying goodbye and good night from Suburban Christian School. And we'll talk to you next week. Adios.